Short answer, yes. Long answer, that's the rest of the video. Inside Out is a movie that came out a while ago, and it's my honest opinion that it's one of the few movies that could totally be turned into a series or franchise without getting too repetitive. And that might be hard to justify considering the amount of sequels that Hollywood has been pumping out recently to the point of complaint, but I'm gonna try to explain myself. And no, this isn't based on the reception of the movie or how much money it made. I'm approaching this entirely by looking at the narrative potential of this kids film. And also, no, this isn't because I read a really good Inside Out fanfiction 6 years ago. So let's look at the movie itself, Inside Out. What is it about? When you strip away the glowing neon cartoon characters controlling the humans like puppets inside their heads, Inside Out is actually a pretty complicated movie. It follows a little girl who's basically suppressed all negative emotion in favor of overwhelming positivity and happiness, to the point where her personality is literally constructed out of purely happy memories. Which doesn't sound bad on paper, but it does cause a breakdown when she's put in a situation she can't find it in herself to just be happy about. Her family moves to a different city and she has to adjust to everything that goes on, which she has trouble doing, but she can't bring herself to express her sadness in a healthy manner. She essentially bottles up her emotions to the point where she comes out bursting in anger, which isn't actually what she needs. She keeps trying to avoid dealing with the fact that she's upset, even though she clearly needs to. And that leads to a spiral of negative decisions that almost makes her, I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to represent, emotionally closed off, depressed. But at the last second, because this is a Pixar movie and we've been following her emotions as they go through the hero's journey, she's pulled back from the brink of whatever is going to happen to her and gains this self-awareness to go home and finally express how upset she is to her parents, which leads to a new core memory being created, this one out of both being happy and sad. And from then, she becomes a more emotionally complicated person, not just ruled by her joy. And when I say that, you start to realize this movie deals with some really complicated and heavy topics to its little emotion people controlling the big people inside their heads. And that's why I think Inside Out could not only have a good sequel, it could honestly create a sort of series that follow these emotional journeys of characters. Like the hypothetical Inside Out 2 doesn't even have to be about Riley. It just has to be about someone going through similar emotional problems being represented by the inside of their head being shown to the audience. Like being overwhelmingly positive to the point of suppressing negative emotions even when you need to feel things like sadness isn't the only problem you can have. You could focus on, say, the anger emotion with a kid with anger issues. Or what about following someone with a lot of phobias and their fear emotion and why they feel the need to feel protected from everything in the world more than anyone else, and how that fear interacts with their other emotions. You see what I'm getting at? I'm making this video because I genuinely think Inside Out has a really interesting concept that, while sure it could lead to being abused in the hands of at least competent writers, it could totally lead to a really interesting series about emotionally complicated problems being represented by little cartoon people controlling children with a dashboard inside their brain. I just heard what I said and I'm wondering what I'm even talking about. And bonus points, it could totally be a kids show focused on teaching kids emotional maturity. You know, like the first movie did. What do you think? Do you think Inside Out should get a sequel in the way I described, or should it get something else? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more content. Thank you, and good day.